Welcome to another edition of Chaz Wins. I'm your host, Chaz Burke, and today is March 31st, 2020. Peace and blessings, friends. I'm coming to you live from the basement studios of, the Chaz compound here. Since everybody in the media is in their basement studio, I figured I would do the same. Brushed off the cobwebs and dust of mine. So I know my screen background's wrinkled. For those of you who are just listening on the podcast, thanks for tuning in. Those of you on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube, thanks for tuning in. I'm having my cup of Arabica bean coffee. Those of you who know me know that my day just ain't right unless I have my rich, flavorful Arabica bean coffee. That's life right there. So we're just going to jump right into it here today. Some things I wanted to talk about. I like the intro there with Maroon 5, one of my favorite groups. Kind of feeling that song. Got a nice little happy-go-lucky feel to it. I like that. Certainly is needed right now in the world with everything going on in the country and across the world here with the deadly and real threat of the coronavirus. So, if you're just tuning in, I lost a dear friend yesterday to the coronavirus and, still reeling from that. But in his memory, we're going to keep up the good fight. We're going to pick up the pace and keep it going. And I couldn't think of no better way to do that than to do and continue to do what I do, spread joy and continue to reach out to the people the way I know how to do and just be me and talk to the people. So that's what I'm going to continue to do. It's been a while since we've done podcasts. We kind of fallen away a little bit, like a lot of you all. There's a lot of projects going on. We're busy with our families, busy with church, we're busy with work, different projects and things. So it's definitely understandable. What I would like to do is schedule more time. I don't know if I'll do a daily thing or weekly or whatever, but I'll definitely be checking in more. We were going pretty good for a while, but like I said, time restraints have just kind of got things a little jumbled up. So, but I want to talk about, since we're on the topic of the coronavirus, I think it's pertinent that we talk about it. And of course, there's anxious moments right now, and I certainly have been up at night, not being able to sleep. I don't sleep anyway. Thank you, Army. Years of my services definitely has a lot to do with that. So. But hey, it is what it is. These worries certainly don't help, and they're real concerns. There's some folks who just worry about life and things you can't help, but this is something that, people are anxious and trepidations about the future and our families, because the world right now, people aren't working. People are at home just sitting, trying to keep themselves busy, trying to keep their minds occupied, and people are dying. And people aren't working, and people are struggling for basic needs. And before long, I'm certain that bill collectors so for right now, bill collectors and utility companies are working with everybody. And this is just my outlook on what's going to have to happen. I'm going to view this optimistically, really, because our world has changed, not just in America, but I think overall. Our economy is never going to recover. That's just a fact. I really believe that. Not like it used to be. So it's not as simple as just open up the country and go back to work and everybody pick right back up. We're too far behind. So I really believe we're going to have to, as a nation and as a world, reinvent a new standard. That's just my take on it, where either the world's governments are going to have to supply each citizen with the means to start over at an equal point, and each entity, each business, each whatever, the same thing. Either wipe debts clean all across the board and give everybody equal brand new credit across the board, and give everybody either a equal lump sum, and I'm not talking about chump change, no $1,200. I'm talking about a substantial amount of money, whatever is agreed upon for everybody, every citizen over 18, or monthly installments, and again, significant amount of money. At least that way everybody starts off equally, because the folks that are rich, I'm not worried about them, but they'll get the same amount too. Because if we don't, the equality and the equity divide is going to grow. And the people who are barely hanging on now are just, I can't imagine what would happen to them. You know what I'm saying? So that's across the world. You can't expect people to just go for months without money and income, food, jobs, and it just ain't going to work. And then all of a sudden, hey, I'm going to need that 6 months of car payments and student loans. And, oh, by the way, that $10,000 gas bill, electric bill, we want our money. And I know creditors are lining up. So our governments are going to have to take drastic action. And again, to be fair, all debts are going to have to be wiped out. Everybody's. And that way the companies can start fresh. They don't have any balance sheet to worry about. They'll be able to pay their employees and so on and so on and so on. Guess what? Now the citizens have money to pay their bills. The store has money to go invest. The businesses can keep running. Do whatever you got to do worldwide. And if you got to print money to do it, fine. Have a begin point where we're going to start over. On this date, everything across the board is brand new, and you just go from there. I know it sounds simple, but what else can we do? Because if we're already in a hole, and I know a lot of folks were just barely treading water before this, they're never going to get caught up. Never. So now you got all that stress. Now you got all this sickness and all this stuff that's going on. People are just trying to get back up. So Nostradamus he wrote about this, and you can dig into his readings if you want. It is what it is. But I think it's ridiculous to expect people to act like, hey, well, we're going to work hard, save up our money, but no, that's not going to work. Like I said, working families, poor families are barely making it as it is without the way things are now. So we're our government, and keep this in mind. Pass it along, talk about it amongst your friends. Don't worry about the national debt, the deficit, all that stuff. I mean, countries are going to have to decide how to do this. And everybody really is going to have a clean slate. If you don't, there's going to be inequity. It's just going to be, it'll be chaos. Chaos and disorder on a scale we've never seen before. And that will be the end of civilization the way we know it. So I don't think it'll come to that. I think we are better than that. So that's all I wanted to touch on as far as that goes. But the virus it is pulling the best of people together. Civil servants all over and volunteers all over the country and all over the world. People are coming together, helping each other. I know this thing has made me want to even try to get back in the Army, see what I could do to help out. I'm working at the VA hospital, still just taking patients to where they need to go. It's what I do. I've been in transportation 30-something years, so it's an important job, but I feel like I can do more. People need help. People need services, so I think we're going to, I do contribute to the local food bank financially. I'm going to look for some more charities to be involved with, and like I said, see what I can do personally to try to ease some of the burden. And stay in touch. Continue to stay in touch with folks across the internet, family, phone calls, emails, texts, and everything. Been in touch with my family, people reaching out, and I appreciate each and every one of you who reached out to me on Facebook about just in general well-being, and a lot of you do on a regular, because I'm fortunate like that to have people that care, show they care, and I'm blessed that way to have friends and fellowship on a regular. So, thank you for that, and it is meaningful to me. So, like I said, I try to meet everybody where they're at. I don't always meet that goal. I'm certain I fall short at times, but know this, I'm trying. And hopefully I catch you somewhere along the way. I hope there's something I say or do that makes your burden a little bit easier sometimes. And because a lot of you all do that for me in many ways. A lot of people right here in my own circle, my family, my household, some great and wonderful people doing great and wonderful things. And I'm ever so grateful for that. Lifelong friends and family who have been supportive of everything I've done. And sometimes when I've been going in circles, I'm sure they have been scratching their head, but nevertheless, they still support me. So, and that's what it's all about. That's the biggest takeaway from all this. That just sit back, fall back a little bit, and find your peaceful moments. I've been struggling with a lot of things over the years and recently, and you struggle. I think the definition of life is to struggle, because to have life is the struggle. So we always think that, oh, I'm gonna get to life one point and I'm never gonna have a struggle. Um, that's the definition of life, truly. You got to fight for something. From the moment you're born and conceived, you're from the very moment before you even conceived, it's a struggle. And that journey continues. It may not be a violent struggle all the time. It may not be a difficult struggle, but by definition, that's the meaning of life. So it's not really about the struggle. It's about how you react and deal with your struggle. And I'm at the point now, I think I faced my darkest days, I hope, in my life, for what I've been through. There have been some moments where I've just thought I was going to go off a cliff. But through searching myself, reaching out to folks around me and help and professional, I think I've gained a good foothold on that through spiritually as well at different times. I think the takeaway for me is that don't stop searching for what it is that you need, and you got to keep doing that. And it's going to look different at times, and you're going to look to different people at times, and that's okay. You got to do it and find what works for you. And once you get that little piece of what makes you right, you hold on to it. You know what I mean? And that becomes your rock. That becomes what works for you. That becomes your formula, your secret formula. And so you start to remember these things that have helped you get to this mountaintop, the things along the path that make your life what it is today. And you sit back, and when you see something that's difficult, it's like, man, you know what? I've been there before. This sucks right now, but I'm going to make it. And you sit back, you sip your tea or your coffee, and you just deal with it, So that's where I'm at in life, I'm just dealing with it. All kind of things come my way. And like I said, they may knock me back, knock me to the side a little bit. But I keep going. Okay, so right now, my Echo things, the dot, we got them all over the house. The whole house is wired right now. I love it. It's kind of cool. Y'all know who I like electronics, and this thing just started playing by itself. So it does what it wants to when it wants to. So I didn't ask it to play nothing. She got a mind of her own. It's a female. I know it is. It's kind of neat. And I guess that's my cue. I need to shut up and get off of here because I got something else to do. So I just wanted to drop a few words with you all. Like I said, Chaz Wins is back. We're going to be doing this on a regular. You can catch me on Spotify. You can catch me on Anchor.com. You can also catch me on Instagram, on Facebook. Chaz Wins, hashtag Chaz Wins, CHAZZWINS. Or you can email me. Chaz Wins, CHAZZWINS 38@gmail.com. If you want to check that out, you can send me a message anytime you want. You can even text me, phone calls, whatever. 412-628-0344. I would love to hear from you. Any kind of feedback about anything is welcome. Anything at all. I'll entertain anything, as long as it's respectful. I will certainly be respectful back to you. And always trying to bridge the gap, and that's what it's all about. It's just about bridging the gap, having an opportunity to make new friends and reach out to people and learn something different. So I think that's the key in life. My grandmother lived to be 103 years old. God rest her soul. She was just that. She was a salt of the earth person, very kind, very, very generous, very wise. She always welcomed you into her home. She always had a cup of coffee to offer somebody, and she always had a song to play for somebody on her guitar with her old Negro spiritual songs that she sang so often for us all. So I'm trying to live my life like that in her image, and it's a great way to be. And for me, if I can live up halfway up to that image, I think I'll be doing all right. So once again, I hope everybody's doing well. Peace and blessings to each and every one of you. Stay connected, stay focused, be well, and stop back and see us, all right? Peace. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next time. Peace.